So I literally just got back from NAB and I thought I'd share with you 5 things about the trip over there that I thought were just awesome. So I'm going to try and rattle through these pretty quick. I want to keep this as a relatively short video. But first off, the main thing that I think a lot of people were talking about, and one of the things I enjoyed seeing the most, was a lot of stuff over at Blackmagic's booth. I've always loved Blackmagic cameras. The first cinema cameras I ever owned or ever shot on were Blackmagic's, back with the Pocket 4K, Pocket 6K, and eventually the 6K Pro, which the majority of my professional work was done on. And I absolutely love those cameras. I love the image quality. I love all of the stuff about them. Now that they have autofocus, I'm so ready to jump straight back in again, because now as a solo shooter who mainly does stuff in front of a camera and or not doing big productions or anything like that, that just excites me to be able to have that option. And getting to try out the Pixus for the first time, sort of like actually getting to hold it and see it, was really, really cool. And I think if everything seems to go smoothly with the Pixus 12K, I think I'm going to just wait, save up a few pennies and go for the 12K over the 6K, unless Blackmagic are willing to do some work with me here. And it was great to be able to actually just sit and chat with a representative there from Blackmagic. I know a lot of you guys had questions about like the autofocus and how all of that stuff was going to be working, and they were sort of telling me that all of the sensors that came from the full frame 6K and onwards, they're newer cameras, those are all the ones that are going to be getting autofocus. The older Pocket cameras are not going to be getting autofocus. It's a limitation with the hardware that is in those cameras, so they physically cannot add it to those cameras. So but if you have a Pocket, it may just be time to upgrade, because if you enjoy those cameras and everything else about Blackmagic, it's probably a good time to hop on up. The second thing that I thought was really, really cool was over at Hollyland's booth. Now, Hollyland also gave me access to NAB for free, so I was able to actually get into the show thanks to Hollyland, so big thanks to them. They've been fantastic and really fun to work with, and they've released a new product that's going to be coming out in the next few weeks or a couple of months, which is the Hollyland Lark Max 2, and it looks fantastic, right? So it's basically one of those wireless systems as you've probably come to expect. There's so many of them out there at the moment. I've always loved Hollyland's mics. I think they do a really good job with that. But the thing that's interesting about this one in particular is that yes, it has 32-bit float internal, kind of like what you would expect, but also it can transmit 32-bit float back to the camera. So if new cameras start to come out that have 32-bit float internally, these you can now transmit 32-bit float straight to the camera. Obviously that is going to be restricted to cameras that can support that, which at the moment I don't know of any, maybe a couple of Lumix cameras potentially, but so this is more future-proofing, which is exciting. Now the other cool thing is that depending on the kit that you get, it comes with ear pods, right? Little wireless monitor pods that you can then wirelessly monitor the audio feed from straight from the camera. So, or you could even give that to like another person who can then wirelessly monitor your audio. And then the last thing that I think is really exciting is that they have come up with a little hot shoe adapter that can run the receiver straight into the camera, so you don't have to deal with any cables, which I just think that's so cool, right? So you got the wireless microphones transmitting 32-bit float straight into your camera. If it can support 32-bit float, it can do that without any cables having to run into the camera, plus wireless monitoring to their earbuds as well. That's just so cool. Thirdly, real quick, because I didn't get a huge amount of experience with this one, but over at the Blazar booth, you've probably seen this, but the Blazar Beetle, it's a new little anamorphic lens, but it's got a little button on it that means you can rotate the whole system to shoot vertically. Now, vertical anamorphic isn't actually really a thing that I've seen many people do, other than one video by Cine Dailies, I think it is. I'll link that below so you can check that out, because he's done some stuff of doing some vertical anamorphics, and I actually thought it was really cool. But this lens means that you can actually like rotate the whole lens on the camera, so you don't have to use PL adapters and rotate the lens physically onto the PL adapter. I'm excited to hopefully try out the lens and give it a go, because I think it's interesting, it's cool, and it's so small, right? It's so, as a little sort of daily carry-around lens, especially for something like a Lumix S9, I think it'd be really, really cool. But the main reason that I like it, and the thing that it excites me about it, is it's just cool to see some companies innovating, doing something new, right? It does feel like the camera space has gotten a little bit stagnant, where it feels like we're starting to hit a bit of a ceiling at this point with the technology that we have, of what we can achieve, and everything's just good at this point. So it's just cool to see companies just be like, you know what? let's just do something weird and different and go for it. And I think that's just exciting to see. So hopefully that motivates other companies to do the same. Now, this fourth one has been out for a little while, and I've seen a few reviews on them, but DZO have a line of lenses called Typoc lenses, and they're really small little cinema lenses at a t1.5, but they're tiny and they're M mount. So with it being on the M mount, you can actually adapt that to basically anything, which is really, really nice. So you got these tiny little cine lenses, and they're based off of like old Summicron lenses, which is awesome because those are like thousands upon thousands of dollars. And the quality, I got to play around with them just for a few minutes, but the quality out of those lenses, the image just looked so creamy and beautiful, and it just had this character to it that I thought was just lovely. So I'm planning to get my hands on those as soon as I can to test them out. But I'll leave a couple of links of other people's reviews down below because I think they're just really cool lenses for the money. Now, lastly, I think one of my absolute favorite things about NAB was that I didn't want to shoot. I didn't want to pull out my camera and I didn't want to hit record because I was having such a great time with the people. I got to meet so many amazing people and network with so many amazing people and just have a great time. Not only was I able to meet up with a lot of creators that I've only been able to have some interaction with online, people like Kofi or Nigel and Matthew, and there's a whole bunch of people that I was able to like hang out with and spend some time with. Big shout out to Nigel, Matthew and Anthony that I was getting to hang out with for the majority of the time that I was at NAB, and also to the Think Media crew. I got to go and just have dinner with the Think Media guys one day because they were just there, and we ended up chatting and just even meeting with people who have channels that are far bigger than mine was really beneficial because I was able to learn a lot and then just have some great conversations. That was just cool, you know. But not only just the YouTubers, right? So it was great to meet up with other YouTubers and people that I've looked up to and, you know, learned loads from just by watching their videos. I mean, that was great, of course, but also meeting with the companies, like at so many of these other booths of manufacturers and camera companies, or people who are producing a lot of the gear that I'm really passionate about. Going to their booths and finding like even their marketing directors would come over and just chat with you and be willing to talk with you, and we're just super friendly, and being able to sort of build relationships with these camera companies or these tech brands to get their contact details and, you know, share my channel with them and start to look at doing some business together and stuff like that. All of that kind of thing, which is maybe more of the businessy side, I guess, was just really cool. You know, getting to chat with the guys over at Blazar or the people at Nikon, right? This is actually being shot on a Nikon right now, spoiler alert, but I'm hoping to do a little bit more stuff with them because I'm really excited about some of the stuff that they're doing. Meeting with them, meeting with the guys over at DZO, meeting with the small rig people, like it was just cool to connect with people that I've maybe had emails with. I mean, again, meeting some of the people over at Hollyland and being able to, you know, take some photos with them and hang out and all that kind of stuff. It was just fun, which was a part of the whole NAB experience that I wasn't necessarily expecting, was all of that kind of networking with these other companies. And people are so eager and keen to hang out and chat about their products. They're passionate about them and they're excited to share them with other people online, and that was just fun. So if you're a content creator, if you have a channel, and if you've ever considered doing this, please come along next year, because and let me know if you're wanting to go, because it was a fun time. Again, basically every clip that you've seen in this video is all I filmed, right? And I took my camera and I was ready to film solidly for 2 days. I didn't want to, because I was just having a good time hanging out, and it was a nice break to be able to set the camera down, put it in a bag and go put it away in a locker somewhere and not touch it for the majority of the day. That might sound counterintuitive, and it probably was in some capacity, but I enjoyed it and I just had a good time. And again, getting to see and hold lots of tech that I'm probably never going to actually buy was kind of cool. So it was a great trip. Anyway, I hope this has been helpful. I would love to hear if you were at NAB, tell us some of your favorite products, leave those in the comments down below. And if you weren't at NAB, go down to the comments and check to see what people are excited about and give those a bit of a research. There's loads of other creators out there who are talking about all the stuff that they found, so make sure to check all of them out as well. Hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, hit the like button, drop a comment down below, or maybe even subscribe as we continue to build this channel. I appreciate all of you for doing so, and I hope that you have a wonderful day.